technical difficulties. I just know it. Right, we are live. Hello, welcome back to part two.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back to part two of our little top 20 TV shows couples of all time.
OTPs.
OTPs, we are on the best part because we're in the top 10.
Yep. Shit's
And
getting real, guys.
it's getting real, and I think we should just get into it
Yeah.
because,
Yeah. There's no point for playing. Let's crack on.
yes, who likes foreplay anyway?
Well, if you ask any man.
Not them. They like to get
Uh,
straight into it. So, like a man, we're gonna get straight into it.
yep.
So, we're on spot 10,
Yerp.
and I'm gonna let you go first. What is
Okay.
your 10?
So, you've not seen this show, and I will just then clue you in on what this show is, just for a bit of context, because you need to understand a bit of context to understand why I like the couple. So my couple is Samuel and Carla from Elite. And Elite is a Spanish Netflix TV series, and it's described as Gossip Girl with murder. And you know, when TV shows or like books or whomever say, "Oh, we're Gossip Girl with X, Y, Z," I'm like, "No, you're not." Like, but this is as close as it's gonna get because there is privilege, there is like wild parties, alcohol, drugs, whatever. There's actual murder, multiple murders. So yeah, it's really fun. The first three seasons anyway, because after that they do that thing where 80% of the main cast leave, and then after season four the rest of the main cast leaves and you have just these brand new characters, and I'm like, okay, I do not care, bye bye.
You made me
But
want. Yeah, I tried it out and I couldn't do it because it's going to sound really bad, but because it was in Spanish and I don't know Spanish and I don't like reading
well,
subtitles.
the subtitles, obviously, like, you have to really pay attention. I remember when I watched it, it took me 3 tries to get through the first episode, not because I wasn't interested, but because I'm not used to watching with subtitles. So it's just to get your brain into that space. But I tried the dub, and the dub is not great. So if you ever wanted to give a dub a go to see if it's your sort of show, but like it's not the best kind, but you know, I don't think they care much about that. But anyway, so this couple, they are really interesting because they don't share any scenes in the first season. So Samuel is I'm gonna use Gossip Girl as comparison, whatever. So Samuel is the cooler version of Dan Humphrey. He's like the from a poorer neighborhood, you know, trying to fit into an elite school and all of that. And he spends most of the first season in a relationship with a girl who we find out in the first episode is murdered. And it's that whole, you know, police interviews, and then we go back to figure out what happened scenario, basically. And then Carla is, I mean, she's definitely not Serena. Well, in maybe because she's a blonde, you know, blue eyes, all of that. But she's a lot more like Blair in personality. And but we also have someone in that show who is basically Blair. So there's just lots of Blairs. So, you know, but yeah, she's very like, her parents are very, very controlling. She's basically like trying to be pushed into this arranged marriage and all that. So she spends most of her first season in a throuple with someone, because why not? You do you, girl.
Why
And
not?
then how they get together. So Samuel starts kind of like courting her, but he has an ulterior motive because he thinks that she knows what happened to the girl who was murdered, and she does. She's covering for the murderer, basically. Like, they're all very shitty people, but so she kind of suspects maybe that he's like, that's why he's talking to her. So this, it starts as like purely sexual, but like their chemistry is so good, and then they start kind of opening up to each other. Basically, like, they catch feelings, both of them, but then he still tries to trick her into admitting that she knows what happened to the girl who was murdered. And there's just lots of mind games. Like, think Chuck and Blair amped up to like, I don't know, a dozen. But and then in season 3, they have barely a handful of scenes together, and it's like a lot of pining for each other and all that. And once again, they don't end up together because, of course, that was the trend for me. Or do any of my OTPs end up together? We'll find out.
You are the fish.
I love tragedy, okay? But anyway, yeah, so basically they ultimately they reunite for a little bit, but they realize that there's just too much baggage and they need to sort their own shit out. Maybe one day in the future it might work out again, sort of thing, but like they love each other and they're like they were the most real thing in each other's lives, sort of thing. But yeah, like the chemistry that they were giving it. You know, Dorina could never. Oh.
No.
Apparently Nala agrees with me. Or disagrees, I can't tell.
I love how you say Dorina and Nala's like, I object. Absolutely. From what I've watched in my cage, that is not our couple. Nala! Back down.
So yeah. Yeah, clearly she did not like me mentioning that, so we'll abstain. But yeah, they're when you think about it, like out of the run of the show, they only have really one season focused on them, but from what I heard, they became the most popular couple in the show immediately, just because, you know, people just love very chemistry heavily charged couples that just play off each other, especially in a show like that. Like I said, like think they're definitely inspired by Chuck and Blair, but like involve murder scenarios in that. So, you know, yeah, it's yeah, I mean, I do want to rewatch it, but I know that it's going to be work to read the subtitles, so I've been putting it off.
It's funny because the plot that you described, it links to a question that I've written down to ask you during our first episode tomorrow. So
Yo.
it really does, because I was just curious and I was like, ooh, I'm not going to say what the question is because I want to hear your thoughts on the actual. But yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, we're podcast girlies now, just like, you know, like we're
Absolutely.
just yeah.
I mean, this was written in the stars. We talked about this quite early on when we first started talking last year.
I mean, we were joking about it, and then we were like, what's stopping us?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? It's a lot of fun, and I love podcasts. I listen to so many. I'm obsessed.
I mean, screw book clubs. Let's do podcasts. No, I mean, not screw book clubs. They have their place and time, but we have more to say about TV, so we're just gonna crack on with that.
Very true. Although I mean, there are so many books I love that I could talk about in depth, but I don't think I could talk about it for like 2 hours like we do with TV.
Yeah, no, it's just and also with books, it's hard to, obviously, if you've not read the book, then it's hard to talk to someone. Like if you've not read the book, it's hard to talk to someone who has read the book because they're not gonna want to spoil it for you. But then a book is, you know, there's only so many pages. You know, it's a lot of stuff. But anyway, let's not get sidetracked. What is your number 10?
My number 10 is Rory Gilmore and Logan from Gilmore Girls. Not that I needed to add that in because I said Rory Gilmore. Everyone knows.
I was gonna say, I mean, there's only one Gilmore, and well, not one, but like, you get what I mean. But yeah, no, I respect that. I don't know what spot they are in for me, but they are definitely a couple I do ship as well. So I can agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. They are my favorite Rory ship. Although if I could ship her with absolutely anything, it would be psychiatric medication and help.
And definitely anti-OTP with caffeine. She needs to lay off that.
No Dean.
Yep.
No Dean.
Dean who? I mean, unless it's Dean from Supernatural, in which case, hello, but...
And then we throw out the whole storyline where she, you know, stops going to Yale.
I don't know what that was about, but...
I mean, it was a lapse in judgment for sure.
She was literally like, I got one criticism. I'm gonna go cry now and drop out. That's what it came across. And I'm just like, girl, really? Like, you can tell she was spoiled and praised her whole life by everyone around her. Like,
Yeah.
girl's skin is as thin as one-ply toilet paper that they put out in office workplaces.
So true. Like, she did not need much pushing to like literally be pushed out of the whole college slash, and it's bad.
Yeah.
It's but just to talk about this pairing, because obviously I love it. It's in my top. I really think that okay, so obviously Lorelai hates this because Rory wants to obviously have the life that her mum essentially took away from her, but because of money went back into. Wink, wink. So Logan is like Lorelai's nightmare, but they're like Emily and Richard's dream, and I think that he is just perfect for Rory because he really balances her out. He has, I mean, they both got all this money, right? But they both, I mean, he has this charisma and this, he pushes her out of her comfort zone. Like that one episode, I Jump, You Jump, Jack.
Valid.
Episodes ever where they jump from the top of that thing with the umbrellas. Oh, such a good moment.
I'm still intrigued with the physics of how that would work, but I do agree. And you know what I like about them as well is that Logan is not afraid to call her out on her shit.
He is not afraid to call her out on her shit, but Paris is not afraid to call Logan out on his shit, and it's hilarious.
Oh, that speech where she's like, something about if you died, only your limo driver would miss you, or something like that. Like when after that whole we were on a break thing or whatever it was.
It sounds like something to Chuck Bass. If you died, only your limo driver would notice.
To be fair, his limo driver was the MVP, best recurring character whose face we only saw one time.
But he was always there in the background just watching Humphrey.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, but yeah, I do agree. Like Logan was always like, Rory, chill the fuck out. You're just as privileged as me or anyone else, and you can't have it both ways. Because she loved doing that. She loved to, take the privilege, but then pretend like she wasn't privileged. And it's like, girl, just accept it. Yeah.
She constantly acted like that life was below her, yet she wanted it so bad, and she has that not like other girls energy.
Like that whole phrase, have your cake and eat it too, was invented for her because she wanted it all.
She wanted
Girl
it all.
had no self-control.
You know what? I mean, the cakes that she ate, I can't say that she was wrong for that.
No.
Like, in terms of looks, even Dean, I'm kind of like, well, yeah, that's a good ass cake. I would eat it too. Maybe not too much of the Dean, but the Jess and the Logan, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ooh, if they were cakes, what cakes would they be? I feel like Jess would be something that's kind of like very chocolatey, whereas Logan would be more like a 3-tier sponge cake with like lots of fondant.
For some reason, Jess gives me red velvet. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or that black cherry, like
Black Forest cake.
That is it. The one for Christmas. Jess under your tree.
Yeah.
Although some of us would want Adam Brody under our tree.
I mean, you're just a girl. So
I'm just a girl. I like brunette men.
we all have our weaknesses, but see, people, we don't just hate men. We hate them, but we also love them. So it just depends on the day, on the weather, what we have eaten. So
what we have
anyone's guess. But yeah, how do you feel about how the revival handled Rory and Logan's relationship.
So if I remember the revival correctly, because I only watched it once and I was like ill,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that he proposes to her and she rejects it.
That happened in the season 7 finale, I think.
That's another thing that I never rewatched.
I don't think I've actually seen season 7 in full. I don't think so. I know what happens. I've seen bits of it, but I don't think I've seen it in full. And I've only seen bits of Revival because I heard bad things about it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not revive myself there and just collapse forever into a coma.
So you were not revived by the revival, is what you're saying.
No, no. And I appreciate the pun. But no, I really feel like they were going very hard on the whole that he's her Christopher analogy. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but Logan is nothing like Christopher. Just
Ooh.
because they both come from rich families doesn't mean that they're the same. And I just don't appreciate that. And I really hated how they made them both cheat on their partners to have like the friends with benefits thing, whatever it was. I don't know. I just thought that their relationship deserved better than that.
Absolutely, because when it was good, and they were so cute together. They
They
look.
were like she needed someone like that in her life who like he was really the right person at the right time. And again, he wasn't perfect, but
Oh no.
who is when they're like what? They were like 119, 20 when they first met.
He's in
You know,
his
we're
20s and he's rich and he's probably
yeah,
from a conservative family. So like
yeah, exactly.
we gotta give him some leeway.
Yeah. But ultimately he was her best relationship, just objectively speaking, out of what we witnessed. So I mean, I love her with Jess, but obviously their actual relationship left something to be desired because it was at the wrong time in their lives because Jess needed to sort a lot of shit out. And then Rory needed to sort shit out. Basically, can everyone go to therapy, please?
And then we get to the end of the Did Not Revive Us revival, and Rory still hasn't sorted her shit out because she's pregnant and we never find out who it is. Is it a Mamma Mia situation? Like,
I'm gonna guess that it's Logan's, but I don't know. If anyone from the writers team is watching this, can you confirm, please? Because we need to know. I don't know, or maybe I just missed someone confirming it because I've not actually watched it. But anyway, you know, enough of Rory being stupid. Let's move on to number 9, I think.
number 9. Fine. What's your number 9?
So, in a bit of a different vein, but it still counts. We have an anime, and we have Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon. And yes, I am including them because they were the first ship that I ever shipped, and they set my standards for love. Because of course, you know that's your hyperfixation when you're 8 years old sets you up for life, doesn't it? It's just how that works.
I was trying to think who mine is, and I don't.
No, it's just a very vivid thing because I remember I was obsessed. Like I printed out these coloring things. Like I looked at because you know something's popular when it's popular in Lithuania in like early 2000s and there's lots of like websites for it and stuff. You know something is mainstream when that's the case because we wouldn't get a lot of things quickly. So you know that that's a big thing because there were like forums and websites and even like games and all that that you could access. So but anyway, so obviously the premise is that it's a magical girl anime about a 14-year-old girl who finds out that she is a sailor soldier and she's meant to fight evil with her besties. She meets the besties along the way, like collects them like Pokemon, like they're fellow sailor guardians basically. So you know, just like love and friendship.
Buffy. It's like you're describing Buffy, so I could see why you have the love.
A little bit, actually, yeah, because it's their destiny, just like it is Buffy's destiny, basically. There's lots of like past life stuff. So basically, so I'll start from the past storyline. So their past lives, they were king, not king, prince of the earth and princess of the moon, because people lived on the moon. Let's not question the logic there. Atmosphere, breathing, whatever. It's an animated series. It's for kids. It's fine. So they obviously fell in love, but then evil guys did their evil crap and they died, but then they resurrected, reincarnated, that's the word, onto Earth. And then they ran into each other, and in true 90s fashion, they hated each other at first. But, of course, that's just to hide the tension and all that. But so the thing is, they didn't know that they were Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. So you see them interact as like their civilian selves, being like, "You're so annoying. Oh my God." And then when he shows up as Tuxedo Mask to save her, she's like, "Oh my God, he's so gorgeous," just full on crushing on him. And then you find out that they have this past, and it's the case of their love's meant to be a thing that, transcends through time, and they'll always find each other, and they'll, always remember those feelings. And it's literally like their love creates this magical energy that forms the silver crystal that helps her fight evil. Like it sets your standards for love very high. Like, where is my time transcending love? Because I was like, that's why I didn't date till I was 20, because my expectations were too high. But yeah, it's very, and what's funny also, they kind of subverted the expectations, because he was the damsel in distress a lot of the time and she had to go save him. He would get kidnapped so often and she would go and save him. And they even had a fight scene when he was possessed by the first evil woman who was in love with him. Like, she possessed like him, whatever, and they had like a full-on sword fighting scene, like Bangel style. So clearly I have a type.
Very much.
Yeah. So that's I mean, I don't know, I'm sure a therapist would love me, but let's not go there, it's expensive. But go to therapy, kids.
Oh yeah, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Or just watch TV.
Yeah, exactly, whichever. So yeah, it's so yeah, they get together in the present, and then in the future, because of course the show has like so many things going on, but in the future, basically, they are the king and queen of the Crystal Tokyo, and they have a daughter, and they just, like, I think it's implied that they're eternal, like they're immortal, whatever, and they just like live their best life with their daughter and their friends who are guarding the city and all that. And yeah, they're like a full-on power couple. So goals, obviously, but yeah. So that is that's that. I could talk about them a lot more, but we only have 24 hours in the day. But yeah, it's just like I said, you don't settle, if you see an idiot who really annoys you for some reason, but you feel attracted to him, maybe he was your love in your past life. I don't know. If you believe in reincarnation, test out the theory. Just ask, like, any chances we were prince and princess in the past life? You never know.
Wow, you never know.
Just saying, but I mean, with my luck, I was a toilet brush in my previous life, so.
Why is the first thing you go for toilet brush?
Because I thought of that line that Chandler said in Friends after he like goes to Janice or something. He said, "In my next life, I'm coming back as a toilet brush." So I just quoted that. But anyway, what is your number 9?
Let me just get over that. Right, so my number 9 is a nice one. It's one of my favorites, and I need to go back and rewatch this show. But it's actually Naomi and Max from 90210 Reboot.
Whoop whoop.
I think it's quite obvious that I love nerd X popular girl, whether the genders are switched or not. Like, it's my favorite.
They are cute as fuck.
Oh my God, they're so cute. I feel like I'm gonna cry because I saw a video of her today doing a recent interview, and she was answering a question about whether she still talks to the 90210 cast.
Hmm.
And she was saying how close her and Shanae are, and how they had a feud for 5 years, which that's old news. We already knew that. They did the podcast together, and now like the cast are more close than they were doing the actual filming. I don't know. I had to add that in because I saw it today. Recent news. She's resurfaced, but she
Hmm.
is so beautiful. Like she has not aged.
I guess that's what happens when you're unproblematic, not making any false allegations, getting canceled.
Or like
Just,
making like hair products that make your hair go poof or
I mean, nothing like paying $300 for a product that makes your hair look like it's not been brushed in 2 weeks and has a bird's nest in it.
just like mine right now.
Oh, shush, your hair looks fine. I call it a business bun. You mean business. You
I
need
mean,
to.
I rolled out of bed and I said I'm still doing this podcast.
Well, that's goals, honestly. But yeah,
Right.
no, I agree with. They are adorable, and
They are just everything.
I don't understand why they couldn't end up together. I get they probably couldn't get the actor back, but like, no one would have been mad if she was like, "Yeah, I got back together with him." Because like, don't they get married for a bit?
I don't
It-
think they get married, but she's the one
she
officially.
breaks up his wedding,
She
and then
does.
they are together for a while. I don't know. I also need to rewatch the show, but I just think that, to be fair, from again, I've only watched the show in full once, so my memory is not great, but I think Naomi actually didn't have that many love interests. I know she was with Liam for a bit, obviously, before he was set up with Annie to be the will they, won't they, whatever. I mean, I like them, but anyway, that's not the point. And then she had a couple of like flings and all that, but like Max is like her main love interest in the show. So, and she was definitely his best self with him. I think that, yeah.
That's actually what I love. Oh my god, there's like a noise happening when I talk, so I hope that doesn't actually translate. But
Sound effects.
yeah, maybe it's Nala because she is somewhere. um, what I do love about Naomi's character is that, like you said, it was never about her, finding someone or having like a bunch of boyfriends, which is what you would expect of a character of that arc. She's the
Nah, she just left Silver to do
she just
it.
left Silver to do her
She
thing.
literally hooked up with everybody.
I know, and you'd expect that with like, oh, Naomi's the most popular girl, and
Hmm.
blah blah blah. She's the mean girl, but her arc's never about that. Her arc's about growth. From where we see
Hmm.
her in season one to where we see her later on, it is a stark difference, and it does start
For
happening
sure.
because when you're looking at her, you're like, okay, she's never gonna date the nerd. But she dates the nerd and she falls in love with that nerd. And she turns up at the cinema dressed as a fucking avatar and gets the piss taken out of her by his nerdy friends. I hated them in that moment. I absolutely hate.
Oh, they were such bitches. It's like, get over yourself, honestly.
I love a girl that will dress up in like their favorite nerd's little nerdy outfit just for them, like Summer does with the one.
I was thinking about that, yeah.
And then Naomi as the avatar, which, by the way, she is the most gorgeous avatar I've ever seen in my life. Her eyes.
No notes. Perfect.
No, she fucking pulled it off. She said, I'm going to research this and I'm going to make this little nerdy nerd proud. He's going to wet his pants.
Yeah, honestly, it was nice to see a couple like that because I think they were more broken up by just the writing of the show or the actor had to leave or whatever. But when they were together, they were really nice and good and healthy. And it was refreshing considering from what I remember. all other couples in the show at that point were a mess. So it was nice to, I mean, again, it's a teen drama. It's going to be messy, but it was nice to have a couple like that.
And they were just so sweet. Like, just from what I remember and how I feel about them when I'm talking about them, I'm just like, they should have ended up together. But, I mean, at the end, I know Anna Lynn,
She did that video.
yeah, she got a stand-in and it was added on to the end of the show. So it's like, you don't have to go looking for it. It's on the actual show. But,
Yeah, well,
it's,
you know, we can dream, we can hope, you know, it's possible. It had canon it.
for me, it's Endgame. It was Endgame from the moment that girl realized she was in love with that boy. Like, I mean, she kind of somewhat bullies him at the start, but not like badly.
Yeah,
And then she's
definitely.
like, oh shit, maybe I'm mean to him because I'm into him.
Like the classic pulling your braid sort of thing, but reversed.
Reverse because he's a guy and she's like, oh, that one's mine. And Summer does the same with Seth. You know, that is
She was
quite.
just like, ew, I like Seth Cohen. Like her face. It's like, girl, come on. There are way uglier nerds that you could be interested in. At least he didn't have acne. Just saying.
And at
Very
least
clear
he wasn't
skin.
like a full-on mummy's boy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is Seth a full-on mummy's boy? Not really. I feel like this is going to go off topic a little bit because I'm watching the OC right now. But I do feel like that Kirsten loves Seth more than she loves anybody. And like Seth's relationship with Kirsten's kind of stronger than his relationship with Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so because, well, you know, there's that really powerful moment when Seth is the one who gets Kirsten to go to rehab because no one else can get through to her. But that I think that she definitely expressed a little bit of certain mommy tendencies, especially when it came with him potentially leaving for college and all of that. So yeah, I definitely think that basically boys who are a bit too attached to their moms, they exhibit certain behaviors, and Seth was definitely exhibiting those behaviors. But I've seen a lot worse cases, so
Those boys they can go to the bin can be on fire, it can perish, we'll never see them again, that kind of thing. The end.
yes, please.
Should we do number 8?
Yeah. So my number 8, another couple who didn't end up together. So
Yeah, what is that?
I know, what a shock. Well, my number 1 end up together. Okay, so let's calm down. But anyway, this one, so it's from that 70s show. And I will just preface this because I just feel like I have to. But one of, like, the male actor of this couple is now in jail serving a 30-year sentence for rape. So I'm just letting people know that I'm not endorsing this show in a sense of I'm not endorsing this actor or whatever, but that show has a lot of sentimental value for me. So it helped me through some shitty times. So I'm doing the best I can to separate that situation, if that makes sense. I think we've spoken about it in the past, but
we've spoken about this so many times, and
exactly,
it's different, it's separate.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just feel like it still needs to be said. But I'm just gonna say that I, you know, I find ways to watch it that makes sure that no one gets royalties. Not that he should be getting royalties in prison. Just saying. So anyway, now onto the show. So the couple are Jackie and Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's funny. I think that was intentional.
Is it fitting? Does it make sense?
Well, they are basically the cheerleader and a burnout. So Hyde, is just a full-on burnout, and Jackie's this annoying, bratty cheerleader. So the premise of the show is that it's literally just small town kids with nothing better to do. They spend all their time in one of their basement. But it's also like implied that none of them have a good home life, whether they're rich or poor, except the guy whose basement they're hanging out in. So they're kind of like treating his parents as their parents, sort of thing. And like they're just, it's a bit of a kind of like a found family sort of situation, but it's not Disney vibes. It's very, they like burn each other a lot, like friendly, joking way, and they get high in the basement a lot because it's set in the 70s. So, drugs. But that's the premise. It's usually just a sitcom of, growing up and, relationships and all of that, and acting crazy when there's nothing to do and there's nothing good on TV, sort of thing. So they actually don't get together till season 5 because Jackie spends a lot of the first 4 seasons in a relationship with this other guy. And this relationship is very toxic. Like he cheats on her with multiple women constantly. And just very, like, they're not good for each other. They're fun to watch, but you would never root for them to be together. So when she gets together with Hyde, he is so different because he is a very strong personality and she can't really push him around because she's very commandeering, but she learns how to actually be in a relationship with someone who just won't be bossed around and who will actually make her question things and make her compromise on things and actually make her think. Like she becomes a lot less shallow. I always love her character, but she definitely develops into just a more insightful and considerate person when she's with him. And they just have really good chemistry, and they're really sweet together. But it's basically the writing happened that it got renewed midway through season 7, but the main actor wanted to leave, so he left, and then all the showrunners left, and the last season was given to new showrunners, which is a catastrophe waiting to happen. And they didn't understand these characters, or like they literally said, we don't like this couple. So they did some very out of character things to undo them and pretend that they never dated, basically. But that season is so bad that the original creator of the show said this season is not canon, it's an alternate universe. But the fact is that they didn't get their happy ending. And then they did a spin-off called That 90s Show, but because it was past, it was after the all the light came out, all the light was shed on the crimes of the actor. Obviously, he wasn't part of the show, and they pretended that his character never existed, and they put Jackie with the toxic guy from the first half of the show because the actors are married in real life. So it was like fan service. So basically, this ship that could have been something really great was sacrificed to shitty sitcom writing, shoddy network handling of the situation, and very unfortunate real life circumstances, which, well, obviously, very bad.
Obviously, it's like, what are they meant to do when one of their own, commits such a heinous fucking crime where we hate them and whatnot?
I think another option was to get the character recast, but I think that they just thought, you know what? People love these two together in real life. We'll just put them together for a 2-minute cameo and no one's going to overthink it. Well, the fans did overthink it, but it's the case of, why something happened the way that it did, but it doesn't make it easier knowing that, like, when you want to give something justice and it gets screwed over by people way up the ladder, whatever. And that was like when original show was airing, because why would showrunners take on a show that's been airing for 7 seasons, not even watch it? They said they've never watched it.
Oh my
God. And they just wrote basically a fan fiction of random characters just to get a job, basically. It's just so disrespectful to actual art and people who care about it. So
I feel like they're punishing the character for the actor's, behavior, which kind of sucks. But then at the end of the day, what can they really do? Because they don't want to bring him on. And if he was in prison serving his sentence at the time, they couldn't do that anyway. But no one's going to go near him.
No, definitely not. No. But yeah, I wonder what would have happened if the original show back in 2000s never got renewed for an 8th season, because they were going to get engaged in the series finale. That was their ending. But obviously we didn't get to see that. But, it is what it is. But it's just like I said, it's just frustrating knowing that business ruins art in this scenario, that we could have had like an artistic, well-written ending, but the fact that they wanted more money ended up ruining it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's always going to be about the machine and the money and the money, the machine, and yeah.
So regardless, I'm bitter. I'm always going to be bitter about that, but I'm more bitter about my next one, so I will save my breath for it.
I'm about to steal your very beloved fetish, because this couple does not end up together, and it really is soul destroying to me, because it is and that is Lane and Dave from Gilmore Girls.
Girl, no, we were robbed.
We were so robbed. You know what? That man read a Bible in one night.
Honestly, girl, if there was a character that was screwed up over in that show, it was Lane.
Absolutely. She doesn't get enough screen time. They ruin her fucking whole arc in season 7. They make her pregnant. That is not what we wanted for her.
They forced her into it's literally a trope. Forced into babies ever after ending, when that was never what she wanted. And ending up with just no. Ended up with Zach as well. It's like, no. Yeah.
If season 7 never happened, or we kept the same writers, Lane would have been a child-free woman in 2025. I'm calling it now. That woman would not be bearing children, absolutely ever. I'm calling it.
No, I can definitely see that. But yeah, her and Dave were so cute. I mean, damn you, Adam, for wanting to go on the OC, but also thank you, but also damn you. So it's very complicated. Lots of feelings there.
I often wonder if Adam Brody regrets that, because it does feel like he's a bit bitter about the OC.
I don't know. I mean, well, I told you what I thought when I listened to the book, the OC oral history. I just think that people need to stop seeing teen dramas as some kind of a stepping stone in their career, and then become annoyed when that's what they're known for. It's like, this is probably the most popular you're ever going to be. Shut the fuck up and enjoy it.
But also, I think the lucky thing, especially in the 2000s, is that most of those shows established such a big community and a cult following, and we are still watching those shows now, and more are still watching them now. So Adam Brody's fame is still going up. He didn't need to do Nobody Wants This. His fame is still going up. So yeah, with Lane and Dave, just for me, he was the perfect first boyfriend. That was real. I mean, I know she was dating this guy at first. That was a fake dating situation. But real first boyfriend, how lucky would you be for your first boyfriend, your first step into love, your first idea of love? Hello, Dante.
Yeah, he clearly likes this couple as well, because he wanted to contribute.
Your first look into love is Dave. That would treat you right, and someone that would read the Bible in one night just to impress your religious over the top mom, that will pretend that he's a little Christian boy, but he's not.
He's literally the definition. Not all men, you're right. he would never.
He would never do anything heinous, and it's just the way that he's like, okay, your mum's crazy, but you're not crazy, and I want to be with you, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes. When he only has like 2 minutes to run to the hockey match and back and say hello to Lane, like just to see her.
Just setting those expectations high.
Those expectations are really high. Like, they are such a lovely couple, and I feel like that mostly comes from Dave, because Dave is the perfect boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Oh,
No,
I
no.
love them. They're like one of my favorite parts of the earlier seasons, and we do lose him a little bit too soon.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
are robbed. We're just robbed because Adam Brody had to go off and make more money.
Yeah, he had to do a Serena, and he had to go.
He had to go, but luckily we kind of did like where he went. We just didn't really like his personality change when he became rich and ended up in the OC.
Yeah, I mean, no, Seth is great. Well, you know, he's not, but we're not ready for that combo just yet. It's gonna be another topic.
Oh, that's a great conversation when we start talking about the men of teen dramas.
Yerp. Cool. Shall we go to number 7?
Number 7.
So, Dante, sorry, he decided that he needs to terrorize me. Stop it. Anyway, so my couple number 7 is Bellamy and Clark from The 100. Have you heard of this show?
So I heard of this show. It was very big on Tumblr back in the day, but the plot did not intrigue me.
So, just gonna refresh your memory. So basically, it's a dystopian show. The Earth nuked itself, as you do. Just normal Tuesday. Don't say that too loud.
You are late.
But so nearly 100 years after the fact, there's a space station where, as far as they know, the only surviving human race people are, living. And they're very strict. Like, they're, the smallest crime equals death, because they can't afford to keep population rising uncontrollably unless you are under 18. So you get locked up and then you get judged when you turn 18. So when they find out that their oxygen's running out, their genius decision is to send 100 delinquents under 18 who are waiting to essentially die to Earth to see if it's survivable and if they can land and, inhabit the Earth again. And that's when the show starts. So Clark, it's actually funny because you would think that Clark would be the guy's name and Bellamy would be the girl's name. It's the other way around. So Clark is she's the daughter of one of the engineers of the ship who discovered the flaw in the oxygen valve system, and she was imprisoned for knowing that. Like, so basically she wasn't really meant to be there, but she's the leader because her mom's like also involved in the powerful people, so she's like, you have to help them and lead them. So she's very like headstrong, play by the book, super type A, like leading everyone, sorting everyone out. And Bellamy, he's more of an anarchist, so he's a few years older than them. He got there to protect his sister, who's not meant to be alive because you can only have one kid. Basically, her crime was being born. So she was among the 100, and he wanted to be there with her to protect her. So he shot basically the president, and he's like wanted. So he thought, might as well just risk my chances on Earth. So he's very like anarchist, almost like fuck the rules, I'm going to do what I want, like sort of very thinking with his heart, like very emotional. Again, very gender reversed roles. So the kicker is I could talk about them for ages, but I'm just going to tell you. So basically, everything is set up for them to be the perfect couple. You have the the chemistry, you have the dialogue, the storyline developing. They become co-leaders from like, they full on like from enemies, they go to co-leaders, then to friends, like to really, like they're really close. They literally have lines like, you left me, I needed you. They have like, I can't do this without you. Like, you're the only one who understands me. Like, they have these sort of lines. But the creator of the show, Jason Rothenberg, who the fandom very kindly called Jason Rottenhell, he basically he bullied his another actor on the show who was a person of color because of his race, and he had his character killed off, executed like a pig in the dirt, basically. So he's a piece of shit. And as far as I know, he's not had any work since. So Jason, if you're watching this, go fuck yourself. But yeah, so basically he spent all this time in the show gaslighting the fans, saying, you're seeing something that's not there. They're just friends. And then in season 7, when it would have been the perfect time for them to finally get together, they have Clark kill Bellamy in a very out of character moment.
Oh no.
And that the actors are together in real life, they're married. And but apparently some stuff came out that it involved a lot of cheating and all that, so we're not rooting for them. But the point is that they were suffering through like trying to conceive, and she had a miscarriage and all that as they were filming the season. And apparently Jason got mad at them that they were dealing with a miscarriage and that they wanted some time off and all that. So apparently rumors are that's why he wrote in that she kills him into the plot, because he was annoyed at the actors for daring to miscarry their child. So yeah, he's a piece of shit human. So and then when the show ended like that, then it came out, like scripts came out. They were always written romantically. He just gaslit the fandom for 7 years and didn't get them together purely despite the fans saying, oh, well, you saw it like that because I wrote it like that. Well, JK, I don't want to do it. Literally, we didn't get them purely because of some white man's weird revenge. I don't know.
Does he want to be a shit?
I don't know. But the matter of the fact is, they are my villain origin story because I was rooting for them. I was obsessed with them. They kept me watching. And he knew what he was doing. That's why he did what he did, to keep people watching. It's just pathetic. But yeah, I'm still very upset about that. Very upset.
I just hate it when like a showrunner is a fucking piece of shit, and then it makes you feel like, well, if I watch this show, then, you know, blah blah blah, I'm endorsing whatever they've done. But oh god, no! I just separate the art from the artist, and you will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's just so
than others. You know, because there's certain situations that may like hit more or something, and you can end up thinking about it whilst you're watching the show.
Yeah, it's just frustrating knowing that someone thinks that, like, it's just disrespectful to the fans to ignore the script and then tell them that what they're seeing in the script, they're imagining it. It's just it's insulting. It's insulting like, to the people. Yeah, it's like, you're insulting the people who kept you employed for 7 years. It's very disrespectful. But yeah, I hope he never gets another show ever again. And so far, I'm successful. But anyway, we are rewatching that show at some point with my fiance because he wants to rewatch it because he likes the dystopian vibe. So I'm going to be seething to you about it on Instagram, have no doubt.
I will be listening. I won't watch this. But
it's good because you're not going to watch it. I can just not worry about spoiling you and just go to town on it and just tell you everything. Yeah. So let's move on and go to your number 7.
So my number 7 spot is actually a favorite of both of ours. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, tell me.
Elena and Damon.
Yo, they're my number 3. So that
Awesome.
is two birds with one stone.
Two birds with one stone. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna start singing, but
This
okay.
is a musical now.
What is not? Okay, I suppose we should sing "A Drop in the Ocean, a Change in the
No,
Wind."
that's a Stelena song. We should sing
The Vampire Diaries song. It is on the soundtrack. If it says that it's for them, no, 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 no.
no.
They don't exist to me.
No. I mean, Stelena who? Whatever. I mean, you know what's funny though? So when I was in school, I made two of my then friends watch it, and they both preferred Stefan, and we actually argued about it a fair bit because they were like, "You're stupid for liking Damon," and I'm like, "Excuse me,"
You're
but
stupid. You're stupid. Oh God.
literally. And now my friend from work is watching the show, and I said, "What team are you on? Because it'll work out either way. We can either share or have our own." And she was like, "Damon, obviously," and I was like, "Yeah, the right decision." It's
Okay.
like, okay, we know that Damon is not a good person, but I feel like a show with vampires, the morality is skewed anyway. You can't just apply the same real life logic that you would apply to a show like The OC or, Pretty Little Liars or whatever. Although that one is its own time capsule, but
Yeah.
it's very. Uh, was gonna say, I think that for me personally, I don't know what your favorite thing about them is, but I always thought that Stefan got with Elena under false pretenses because he always projected Catherine onto Elena, but what he wanted Catherine to be.
Same reason.
And Damon, when he met with Elena, he was still hung up on Catherine, like because he thought she was in the tomb for like most of season 1. And then when she came back in season 2, he was still like, I think there were still some unresolved feelings. But because he had those feelings, it allowed for him to get to know Elena for who she was. And he actually liked Elena for who she was from the beginning. And he called her out. Like, how they have that moment where, because she tries to cheerlead, but she's not into it anymore. He's the one who notices it in 2 seconds, and he tells her it's okay to not like the same things anymore. You suffered a loss. You had, things change now. Somehow it's not her current boyfriend who notices it. It's his brother. And like when they have that moment in Georgia, that's the first time she actually has some fun. And it takes half a season for her to actually let loose and have fun and not constantly worry, be maternal, grieving, sad, crying. The show loved to make Nina Dobrev cry. And just because she's a beautiful crier doesn't mean that she should cry 12 times in an episode. But, she actually had fun and they were interesting. Like, because they knew who the other was and they could get to know each other on a real level and develop that understanding. They always felt real, even when they weren't together. And you could argue that a lot of their best moments were before they got together just because the writing of the show was better in the first few seasons. But you tell me now, what are your favorite things about them?
Dare I say there was a little bit of yearning there, especially on Damon's part in
Oh, he might as well have been a pining puppy with those big blue eyes, just going on. She was like, "Go away, Damon."
I feel like Damon brings out the best even though, like, okay, so yeah, she's got all of this humanity. She's a human for most of the show, and she's a little bit bland, dare I say.
I definitely think that they wrote her inspired by Bella Swan, that bit of self-insert so that teenage girls could imagine that they're the ones that these sexy brothers are fighting over. But I think that Dante, sorry, I love him, but he is literally like on me and jumping around and vibrating the laptop. Anyway, so he's offended now. So basically, I think that it works slightly better for a movie because obviously it's shorter and gets to the point quicker. But for a 6-season television show, you can't have a blank slate main character because it's just gonna start getting stale, because it takes until like season 6 for Elena to actually start getting goals that aren't in her relationships. But that is another conversation. But I would say that it's the fact that she's definitely her most intriguing and interesting when she's with Damon.
And he brings her out of her comfort zone. Like she, as you said, she actually has fun on that. The first time we actually see her like come out of her shell and have a good time. That's not, not around like her family or with the girls or whatever. She's like actually. It didn't feel fake. It didn't feel like, oh, I have to pretend to like have a good time because I've spent so much time being sad about my parents dying and all of that.
No, they never had to pretend with each other. It's like, apart from like the first couple of episodes where Damon tries that shtick with her, he always keeps it real. And especially after they find out, she finds out about vampires and stuff, he immediately just acts himself around her and it works. Excuse you?
And she sees the humanity in him.
Because there is humanity, and
there is.
Mind, do you have something to say? It's very like, because I mean, Stefan is just party pooper, but he's immediately like, Damon is evil. There's nothing redeemable about him. And it's like, dude, first of all, if you actually spoke to him for more than 2 seconds, you would see that there is definitely a lot of humanity in him still. If anything, more than you. Just saying. Dante's apparently very passionate about this subject. Hey!
I think Dante's a big fan of Damon.
Do you like Damon? You team Damon?
He said yes.
What do you think about Stefan?
He said, fuck him!
Yeah, exactly. He is not him, but Stefan's just... You know what? This is a whole other thing, but ultimately... Do you mind? Ultimately, I don't know what the ship wars are like nowadays. I do think that now they're... Dante, stop. I think they're actually pretty even splits. I do think there are a lot of Stelina fans. I don't know why, but overall, it is a ship that at least ended up together. But I really wish that Ian would have got his head out of his ass for 2 seconds and actually acted like he was excited to see Nina when she came back for the series finale so that they could have their like end game scene, because that was pathetic. But that was purely because he couldn't differentiate that they were broken up by that point. But it's like, dude, you were married by then, get over it. So anyway, but it's no coincidence.
Married to her friend.
But it's no coincidence that when people think of the Vampire Diaries, most of the show's iconic scenes are with Damon and Elena, because you think of the dance,
or Damon by
Mystic Falls, or what?
Or Damon by himself, just Damon being Damon.
Yeah, it's like when you think about the iconic characters, you think like Damon, Catherine, Klaus. Does anyone actually think Stefan? Like, I'm sorry.
Caroline.
Yeah, exactly. You have their kisses and all of the stuff, and dare I say, like, some of their scenes for CW, they were explicit, because that network is, still more like, well, that network doesn't exist anymore as we knew it, but back then it was still catered like heavily for teens and stuff, so a lot of the stuff was still censored. But those scenes, like, fucking hell, you could think they were on HBO or something.
the CW was about hot people, but like, was it really conservative and they didn't do like abortion storylines, etc.?
I think
No, they did.
yeah.
They did
Yeah,
run
no.
into a reboot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that it's just hard to find abortion storylines, but that's a whole other. I mean, I think I was gonna say we should discuss it at some point, but would probably get banned in the US.
Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually, like, we have a lot to say about it, especially in shows like Desperate Housewives and stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna add it to our Excel spreadsheet. So future episodes, people, we know what we want to talk about. But yeah, no, I fully agree that they are majestic and they are iconic. And
Oh my
I don't
god.
know when or
Chemistry.
you keep going.
Oh my god, sorry.
No, you keep going.
I was flapping about the chemistry because the chemistry is off the charts. It's so fucking hot. Like when they fuck as Catherine and Damon
Mm-hmm.
at first, that's sexy. That's
Mm-hmm.
like Nina and Ian.
I mean, it helps that they were at the peak of their dating at that point.
I mean, you can tell they've been in the boudoir together many, many times in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
is
no,
hot.
yeah.
No, mum.
But yeah, it's just very, I agree. Like they definitely had something. And Dante, what are you doing? He's next to me now. He's tired of trying to climb on my head. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I was so obsessed. They were my hyperfixation when I was 15. I just moved on from hyperfixation to hyperfixation. Like that's just, I can't just be normally fixated on something. I have to obsess.
Nope.
But yeah, I was so obsessed. You know, not to get real for a second, but I think it just helped me being obsessed over something fictional. It helped me distract myself from how shitty of a time I was having at school. It's
Same.
just, yeah, school was rough, but it just helped me to, because I remember watching, especially like, because I think, yeah, I started watching the show when season 2 was finishing. So I finished season 2 and waited for season 3 for the whole summer. And then I was watching and I was like, Helena, stop being annoying and just hook up with Damon already. And then she picked Stefan at the end of season 3. I was like, oh, Jesus, fuck. And then they got together in season 4. I was like, yes. And I just wish that my main qualm with them in the later seasons, I wish that once they got together in season 4, the writers actually let them be together for like at least half a season before they brought in any drama, because there was always something. At first there was the sire bond, then it was that whole Augustine thing in season 5, then it was Catherine hijacking Elena's body, then it was Damon died. Then it was the whole Elena erasing her memories. I just think it got a bit much. It's just like, just let them be happy for more than like 3 episodes. It wasn't fair, because it's like they waited so long to get them together. Because like by the time they got together, it was already pretty much halfway into the show and more than halfway into Nina's time on the show. So I think they were like, shit, do we actually know what we want to do with them as a couple? And then they realized they don't know what they want to do with them. So they kept like breaking them up. But that's my main thing. I wish they just chilled the fuck out, because they let Stelena be happy for like nearly a whole season together with no repercussions, as if anyone wants to see that.
Not me. I'm bored of it in my rewatch. I mean, I know I stopped for a bit, but like, ugh. It makes
Yeah.
it stale and tedious and hard to get through because I am not. My loins don't feel hot for Stefan and Elaine.
No, too much product in his hair as well.
It's Damon and his eyes and his personality, and it's like he's a bad boy, but secretly underneath it's all like gooey marshmallow, like soft.
Pretty much, yeah. Um, that's definitely something we can talk about another time. But Right. So my number 6, we actually talked about it in part 1 because it's Brooke and Lucas from One Tree Hill. So we already spoke about them. So I will let you crack on with number 6 just to try to like keep it somewhat
Oh, honey, we're skipping again because we talked about Ryan and Marissa in
I
part
mean,
one.
that's great because we're keeping it somewhat digestible for people. So, you know, short attention spans, they're going to fall asleep. So that's perfect then. What's my number 5? Oh, well, we're going to have a lot to say about this one.
Oh no, is this bad? Is this bad or good? I'm not.
Well, depends, considering you change your mind every rewatch, but
Chuck and Blair!
yes.
Let's go! Let's go!
Okay, so prefacing again, we know they're not relationship goals. There's a lot that you should not want in that relationship for yourself, but entertainment wise, 10 out of 10. Come on. Like they're iconic, and I'm rewatching now and it's like, I'm sorry, but just seeing them and them having their scenes together, everything is just it's iconic. It's you see it and you know that's why people kept watching. Like definitely not for Serena or Nate or Dan. They watched for Chuck and Blair, and you can see why.
I can see why this would be like so high up on the ranking because
I
like
was obsessed with them, but see, that's the thing. I had a very tumultuous relationship with shipping them, almost as tumultuous as they had with each other. You know, I was rooting for them so hard, and then the hotel thing happened, and I was really put off them after that until season 5. But I was also rooting for Dan and Blair, so I was like, this could go either way, and I'll be happy either way. And then in season 6, when they sorted their shit out, I was like, okay, I'll accept that. But I was actually very flip flopping with them for like 2 seasons because I was like, just because they're iconic doesn't mean that I approve of the shit that Chuck did during that time. And I still don't. I still think that if we were going to go just based on what Blair deserved, I think that she deserved better. But at the same time, I can respect that, okay, she chose Chuck and she clearly ultimately she was never going to choose anyone else, so it is what it is there. And, you know, you could argue that till you're blue in the face, should she have ended up with someone else? And I'm convinced that if this show was made today, reboot notwithstanding, because what was that? I've not watched it, but I heard very bad things. The fact is, would they have ended up together? I don't think so, but as it is now, I still think that narratively it works. Whether or not we think Blair deserved better, well, that's a whole other conversation. But ultimately, they do sort their shit out and they end up together. And it's just a shame that, like I said, I always thought that we didn't need for Chuck to sink so low in seasons 3 and 4 for us to root for them. I just thought that they overdid it. Like we didn't need the hotel and the whole punching the wall thing. Like that was too much.
the glass.
That was bad.
It was
Like
bad.
there's no going around it.
There is not. It just looks like an abuse scene, and obviously, you know, for me, I can't get past any kind of sexual assault or rape
Of
scenes.
course.
'Cause it's like obviously, I mean, being transparent, it's happened to me. So like seeing it on a screen is really hard to digest, and then I feel like um I can't like that character, but I did end up liking Chuck later.
Mm-hmm.
Eh,
It's because of the dog. They knew what they were doing.
it's the dog. It was emotional manipulation. Like
And it worked.
when he finds out that baby's not his and he's crying in bed with that
Mm-hmm.
dog, I'm like, oh my god, he's using a mutt to wipe his tears. He's finally figuring out where the unconditional love comes from. And
That dog was working overtime to support him emotionally.
it was, but it worked. It
Mm-hmm.
changed It like that is the moment that Chuck Bass truly fucking changed.
Yeah,
When
I
he got
just
that
think
dog.
that, yeah, definitely. I agree with you with the dog, but I was just gonna say that I just think that I think the main thing is that I just wish that, because obviously I get what they were trying to do, you know, when they got them together and then they broke them apart with the whole hotel thing and all of that. They wanted to show that Chuck wasn't ready yet to fully be a mature adult in the relationship. They needed to grow up. I get what that's what they wanted to do, but it's like, did you really need to screw over Blair that much to get that point across? I just don't think that it was necessary, because it's like, why do you keep saying that you love this person more than anything in the world and you keep doing these things to them? And the fact that Blair chose to forgive him, it's her choice. But I just think that a lot of her character arc was definitely sacrificed for Chuck's growth, especially around season 3. You know, when they are together, I just keep thinking Blair barely does anything that season apart from be Chuck's girlfriend. And I think the show even acknowledges it in season 4 when she's like, we can't do this again until I have something for myself. That's when she goes into her powerful woman adventures. And then obviously the whole princess thing. But I liked that because at least then her character did something, you know, because in season 3, yeah, she's happy with Chuck, but all, I mean, NYU's a failure and all she really has is being a girlfriend. And we get to see the side of her that when she really loves someone, she's fully in it and she gives her all. But I think she also needed to learn to give it all to herself.
That's beautiful.
You know, because who else will, if not you, even when you're with someone who you love? But yeah, ultimately, I did like that, you know, in season 6. I know I'm just going to say it now because I just feel like it's relevant, but I noticed that there are distinct changes in the feel of the show every couple of seasons. So obviously, season 1 is untouchable. And then season 2 already feels different, but you know, that's because some of the writers changed. And I think Joshua or Stephanie, they stepped down as the main people after season 1. So then seasons 2 and 3 have another feel. And then season 4, because I started rewatching it last night, it has yet another different feel to it. And it just feels a bit stilted. I don't know if that's because Jenny is not there or whatever, but it just feels a bit different. So then 4 and 5 have another feel to them. And then season 6 has another feel to it. It just feels very, by season 6, you can tell everyone's kind of over it. But it's the case of, I like that, you know, they were like, okay, we need to sort this out, do our own thing, but we're going to end up together, sort of thing. But I also liked that Chuck tried to slip into his tendency of pushing her away, you know, when that whole scheme with the painting and the money inside the painting, or not the money,
Yeah.
the film thing, whatever Bart did, oil things, the oil things. When that failed,
Trade in oil.
yeah, when he tried pushing Blair away, but she was like, you know, no, that's not happening. You're not falling back into your old habits. We're sorting this out together. So just shut the fuck up and let me take the wheel. And then he finally is like, wait, this does work better as a team. And he's like, will you just join me so we can finish this together? And when he says, will you go to the war with me? And she's like, I thought you'd never ask. It literally sounded like a marriage proposal, which, you know, he proposed 2 episodes later. But, you know, and also I really did like how he was so keen on her still having her moment, even though their wedding was like, to be fair, was the most them thing that you can think of.
Absolutely. Public wedding where Gossip Girl could just turn up. I mean, in fact, she was invited.
I was gonna say she was a VIP guest list. You know what? I know it's not related to Chuck and Blair, but someone commented on Jack's face when he looks at Dan, who's looking when Blair shows her ring, because Dan looks so disappointed, and Jack clocks it, and that's so funny. It's like a millisecond, but he's like, and Dan is like, and Blair's like, I was gonna say, you know, when you rewatch it next time, pay attention to that moment.
I'm rewatching it right now. I'm on the episode after the first blackout because I know there's another blackout coming up at some point. Josh Schwartz and his blackouts, he loves them.
Because it just forces people to stay in a certain place and talk things out because they don't want to go out in the dark. Forced proximity is the key. But yeah, ultimately, I think Cher is a very good example of a couple that you wouldn't want a relationship like that in real life because it's way too tumultuous and stressful and dramatic, and I kind of don't want to be pimped out to anyone's uncle for property. That doesn't sound like my idea of a nice weekend.
It depends who the uncle is.
Well, you know, if it's Jensen Ackles, then please now. But you know that's different. There are exceptions to the rule, but you can still root for a couple like that in a fictionalized TV setting where you're meant to be sucked into the drama, and that's okay. You can do that without saying Chuck Bass's relationship goals, because he's not. So that is my 2 cents or 20 million cents on that.
And I loved it. I think, as you said, for entertainment value, they are absolutely perfect. I love just a classic Chuck and Blair mess around where they get together to scheme, and you can tell that they're both basically horny and passionate about this scheming. I mean, it just gets them both going, and I wouldn't be surprised if after a heavy scheme session they had a heavy petting session, because that's what it feels like. And you know what? The moment that changed me on my last rewatch, not this one because I haven't got there yet, it is that scene where they have hate sex and that song's playing in the background. I'm in the corner.
Yeah, the piano moment. First of all, it kind of happened comfortable. And I always think, oh my God, everyone in that penthouse heard them, including her mom.
Absolutely. Cyrus was listening through a glass in the wall.
Oh my God, no, don't say that. That's creepy.
Why does he give me that vibe? He'd be like, yes, Blair.
But, well, to be fair, they're not blood related, but you know what I mean. It's like, if you think that's not sexy, then you don't have eyes.
It is hot.
Exactly.
I was like, wait, hold on, I'm a little bit warm right now.
I mean, they were into it. They were in there. But
when they hate each other, there's this like fire that happens.
Yeah, it's just, I think that's the thing. They can't not be anything around each other. So I think that they were not ready to admit that they still had feelings for each other, but they still wanted to be around each other. So they were like, you know what, let's just hate each other. You know,
it's
they say
love, hate, and nothing in between.
No, they can't just be passive around each other. It's not possible.
They cannot be neutral to save their life. Are you ready for my number 5?
Yes.
And I'm very excited to talk about it because it is, I mean, obviously one of my favorite couples because why are we here? But it's Hannah and Caleb from Pretty Little Liars.
Yo.
As you know, I'm a huge Pretty Little Liars fan. I've rewatched the show so many times. And when I think about Pretty Little Liars, I think about Hannah and Caleb.
I can see that. I mean, they're not like they're my second favorite couple from the show because you know Spencer and Toby, we already talked about them when we were talking in part 1. But yeah, no, I see that. They're just so sweet together, and they bring out the best in each other. It's just a shame that Marlene was like, you know what, we need a love triangle in there.
Anyway, so
let's
is on a different list, so we're not going to talk about that right now.
Yeah,
because I don't want to. I want to focus.
Let's focus on the good.
The good is obviously Hannah and Caleb. So they're my favorite couple in the entire show by far. I was hooked on them from the very first watch. I remember being a teen girl and, like you said with the Vampire Diaries, I was being bullied really, really badly when I first started to watch Pretty Little Liars. And I can't lie, I did hatch a little plan to be an A.
I mean, who hasn't wanted to torment their bullies?
I've
That's
always
why
wanted.
Carrie is so popular.
Absolutely. And I would just, on a different topic to the whole bullying thing, when I was in school, I remember in science class, my teacher would actually let us do what we wanted. We could listen to music or like watch Netflix on our phone if we wanted while we did work.
Lucky.
And then I remember my friend sitting next to me was watching the Vampire Diaries, and I was watching Pretty Little Liars. And like it's just like a fond memory I have because school was quite shit, and that actually helped me kind of get through the day if I had science class. So just knowing that I could sit there and watch my new favorite show, because obviously at the time we were using like little booky secret little websites because it wasn't on in the UK.
I mean, unless police are watching.
No, I fully admit to it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
it's if at the time there was no way to legally access it in your country, it's not stealing.
Well, yeah, so just make it legal in my country, put it on Netflix, and we won't have a problem. But
Exactly.
what was 13-year-old Charlie to do? Did you want her to travel to the US just to fucking watch Pretty Little Liars? No, she wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah, that would have been a very expensive trip.
Just for a TV show that I could watch for free on a
I
bookie.
know.
Anyway, so back to the actual couple at hand and not, Pretty Little Liars in general. They are just so fucking cute. Like, I would say that they brought out the best in each other, not just one brought out the best of one of them. I find it so sweet how even though she's just like known him for a little while, she's like, I'm gonna let this kid live in my basement. And he's a boy. So we have to like remember that who wants a random boy from school living in their basement that they barely know? Like as a girl, you're never really safe.
I mean, just people in general are annoying, so
I know, but I'm like
Hannah's better than me.
it's more on the safety aspect. Like she is very trusted and very naive.
I would say like I don't know. I mean it's been years since I rewatched the show, but I think that if you were gonna like, distribute certain traits or like archetypes to the liars, then Hannah's definitely the heart. Like she thinks with her emotions and she wears her heart on her sleeve. Like so it's a very in character thing for Hannah to do, especially early on in the show before she's too jaded by Ace terrors, is to, you know, extend this trust to this guy. Because I think someone like Spencer or Arya would have never done it.
No. Arya's way too selfish. Anyway.
I mean, you mean Mrs. Ezra?
This is Ezra. Huh. Anyway, back to Hannah and Caleb. They have so many cute moments. Actually, the way that he okay, wait, there's two scenes I want to talk about straight away. So when they first have sex in the tent,
Yeah.
it's the way that he fucking looks at her like she is the most beautiful thing. He's not looking at her like, I'ma fuck this bitch. He's looking at her like
Respectfully.
he's looking at her respectfully, but as if he is admiring her. Like he can't believe that he got her.
I mean, as he should, because she's beautiful. But
She's beautiful. Yeah. She is art, and that is how he's looking at her. It's kind of in the same way that Chuck looks at Blair. They don't look at him like this sexy woman, I'ma spank that ass, I'm fucking it, like that kind of. It's not.
No, they're looking at these women like they're queens and they're gonna kneel down and worship them.
And they fucking do. Like, even Chuck, just to backtrack a little bit.
Hmm.
They both do worship these girls, even if there's some ski with storylines later on for both of them.
Yeah, no, to be fair, it's not perfect because obviously then we find out that Caleb did that whole thing with Jenna, and then when obviously
Yeah.
he hooks up to Ravenswood, they're not perfect.
They
But
only did that storyline just to make Ravenswood happen.
yeah,
So I kind of
yeah,
just forget that it happened and I think, okay, they just took a little cheeky break. Like there was no other girl involved that he had a
yeah,
life with
yeah.
and
No,
blah
I
blah.
I can definitely understand that. I do think that although I personally prefer Spoby for my reasons, I do agree with you that as far as all the relationships for all the liars go, they are the healthiest one and the most long withstanding one because at least Caleb never joined the A team for whatever reason.
And nothing he ever did had any malicious like intent or to like hurt Hannah, even though we can argue the later thing later on with the Spencer. But
Just let's not do that or we'll be here for another hour and we have naps to take. So let's just leave that for another time.
we'll leave that
But
for another time, but I'm not finished gushing just yet because there's that scene where he's living there and he's taking a shower and she
I
has
know.
to get in with him and she like looks down and smiles at his body and she doesn't see that he's watching her that entire time doing it up and down.
I mean, gotta check out the goods.
She had to check out that good. Like, it's more like look before you buy it instead of try it before you buy it. She was just like, I'm just gonna body scan this guy,
I
and
mean, if the opportunity arises, like there was definitely attraction there, and it just played off really nicely. And with everything else that was happening, their relationship also felt really normal in
it
the
did.
midst of the whole anus of things.
Anus. Another thing that I want to point out is how delicately he handles her and her trauma after the dollhouse. Because like
Hmm.
he's going insane, rightfully so. Like valid, she's going insane. She's kind of like manic, and she has to get everything out of her room. Everything has to go. It cannot look like it did in the dollhouse. Wallpaper's coming down. She's on a little blow up mattress on the floor, and he just lays there and he's holding her. And Ashley accepts it because she's like, well, I wouldn't usually have him over and sleep in her bed, but she needs this right now. That's the first time she's been to sleep since she came out of the dollhouse. And I think it's like beautiful and really telling that the first full sleep she has after the dollhouse is because Caleb's there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Again, I remember stuff vaguely, especially at season 6, because by that I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? But from what I do remember, he was the love interest who easily handled it the best, because I don't think the others dealt with it well, or the families for that matter. I know Spencer's family handled it terribly, and I don't even know if the other ones cared about what happened that much, or if they couldn't get the actors back, but it was just weird.
Yeah, I think I'm done talking about them. I feel I feel pretty good about what I've said. They are just so adorable and if I see a picture of like Ashley or Tyler, I think his name's Tyler that
Yeah,
plays.
Tyler Blackburn or something, I don't know, but
If I
they
see a
are,
picture of them, I need to go watch it again. I mean, they're hanging out right now. They're giving
yeah,
me.
they're still good friends, so that's nice to hear.
I
But
have to go and relive all these beautiful moments because my little Halo part is still beating. It's alive.
yeah, definitely. The one thing I personally that I wished for them, I just wish they weren't rushed into that whole like again babies ever after ending because Hannah
Yeah.
wanting to get pregnant, it came out of nowhere for me personally. Um I would have just liked if they just eloped or whatever. I just I think that bit got rushed because they got back together. And then 2 episodes later, they were already trying for a baby. And I was like, okay, that's a bit. But I chuck it down to the fact that it was the last season and all the bets are coming off, considering a horse is suddenly the world's best detective. But you know what? Let's not.
The blind girl riding the horse. We love to make Jenna jokes here. And you know what? I'm not against blind people. I'm not trying to be offensive, but I have to make Jenna Marshall jokes on the daily.
I mean, she can't hear us. She's blind.
She can't hear it, and she definitely can't see me.
Exactly. So it's all good. I'm just gonna get my power bank to charge up my laptop so that we can make it till the end. Just 1 second. Bear with. I'm still here.
I still don't know if I'm on screen or not.
You definitely are on screen. I've been able to see the whole time.
Oh no, I was picking my neck hair.
You're fine. This is authentic experience. So it's just. And Dante took my seat.
Having PCOS, it's like I can sit here and pick my chin hair and no one knows. Oh wait, you're on camera the whole time.
We are authentic and real. And actually, while I'm stood up, I'm just also gonna go pee. So just.
Oh my god, I'm peeing too.
Yeah, we're taking a quick break.
I am going for a pee. Oh, thank the Lord, Jesus Christ, that's beautiful. I am back. Oh, you can see the mess. What is that? I made it back first and I left last.
I'm back too. I just need to take Dante out of my seat. He's on his back asking for belly rubes.
You better give them. It's the law.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. He's a good papa.
He is the best little man in the world.
And
I can say that because Nala's the best little girl in the world.
Nala is the best little girl in the world. Oh, she is perfect.
Okay, look at this shit. Look.
Oh, you know I love looking at. Hi, baby. Oh.
He is so extra. But anyway, so. Okay, sorry, I just need to readjust, but I'm going to keep talking while I do that because we are efficient with our time that we spend here.
We are really well.
Yeah, we did, and because we love to talk.
We love to chat. We are big.
Yeah. I mean, I only have two more couples to talk about because my number 3 was Damon and Elena, which we already talked about, and my number 2 is Buffy and Angel, which we talked about in the last video. So I only have spots 4 and 1 left, which is great. So my number 4 is Styles and Lydia from Teen Wolf.
Valid.
So first of all, I think they were definitely inspired by Steph and Summer. They definitely give those vibes. Dylan O'Brien, I mean, I would marry him straight away. Sorry, fiance, but if the opportunity comes along, I have to take it. I'm only human. I'm just a girl. Well, a woman, just in case, so there's no confusion. In case Dylan O'Brien is watching this at any point, I'm here. I'm available. Just for you, though, just in case. But all jokes aside, they definitely start off with a one-sided crush that develops into a friendship, and then a very, very, very slow burn. Slow is the key word. I'm pretty sure that continents move faster than that, and they only move 1 millimeter a year, which is actually a fun fact. At some point, million years in the future, continents will become one again, you know, like how they were a million years ago. They're moving towards each other again. They're moving faster than Styria got together. Because waiting 6.5 seasons for that. No, actually 5.5 seasons. But they were just, even though they took so long to get together, they were so sweet, so, you know, their, you know, chemistry and their banter and them caring for each other. In a way, it did make sense that they took their time because, you know, at first Lydia kind of sees him as a nuisance, and she takes a little bit of time to warm up to him. And I think that she needed that time to actually see him as a friend, as a person. But, you know, like, she started the show quite shallow and vapid and all that, and really developed into herself. I liked her from the beginning, but I like bitchy characters. But I know a lot of people didn't like her until like season 3. But yeah, she really needed that time to start seeing Styles as, get to know him as well. And you know, he needed to get to know Lydia more, because you could argue that his crush was very superficial at the beginning. But yeah, I loved them. And I think it's the case of behind the scenes factors, because obviously Dylan O'Brien left the show to film The Maze Runner, which I mean, I'm not complaining about that, but also the fact that obviously he wasn't there to film when they were meant to be together. That didn't help. And also the fact that I think they didn't know what to do with them once they got together. That's why they took their sweet ass time. But it's again the case of, I don't know if you saw the whole show, but it's just the fact that, you know, in season 6, when he gets taken by those memory people and everyone forgets him and she remembers him, it's like, that is literally, again, time and space transcending shit. And how can you not be entranced about that, with that, whatever? I mean, that's beautiful. Like I said, I love tragedy, but I love meaningful tragedy. I don't love bleak, pointless shit. What is the meaning of it? We're all gonna die anyway, so let's do drugs and lock children up in a basement or whatever.
It's all so beige.
Yeah, it's just, why be beige when you can be a colorful kaleidoscope of, well, colors. You know,
rainbow.
well, I wanted to say rainbow, but then I was like, I don't want to sound like I'm making fun of the gay anthem symbol, whatever. But you get what I mean. Colors are great.
Beautiful.
And I loved that, yeah, they had tragedy, considering, you know, he literally was wiped out of existence and she remembered him and she pulled him back. But there was meaning in that because he came back and they got together and they had their happy ending, because the film is not canon. No. Mm-mm. The film, I've not watched the film. I know they resurrect Allison in that film, and that was like what they were hoping will pull people in, but the fans pretend it doesn't exist. They hated it. And not just because Dylan O'Brien wasn't in it, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. I don't care. They ended the show happy together, and that's where I'm gonna end that. But yeah, I love it. And at some point, I don't know if I'm gonna rewatch the whole show because I'm not in the mood for like supernatural shows that aren't Buffy at the moment. I'm not sure why. I guess I'm just more into the real life drama, I guess. But I think that's just a phase. Like I will get back into it at some point. But when I feel like rewatching it, I wonder if it's still gonna hit the same shipping levels. Because sometimes, you wonder, oh, I don't love them as much as I did. But then I think like the last time I fully rewatched this show was like 6 years ago. So you know what I mean.
For a teenager at the time, you're obviously going to have different views because you've now got a frontal lobe.
Exactly. But I just think that they were definitely one of the healthiest ships that I've ever shipped. So that's my number 4. What's yours?
My number 4 is Kurt and Blaine from Glee.
Okay, I can respect that.
You have to respect it because they're so cute. Okay, so I don't feel like I need to explain myself because everyone that watches Glee tends to ship 2 certain couples from Glee, and they're the gay couples.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah and Brittany, who we're going to be talking about soon.
Mm-hmm.
So with Kurt and Blaine, I just... What is it necessarily that I like about them? I'm going to have a little think. I'm just going to have a little think.
You just have a think.
It is... Okay, so obviously this is one of the first gay couples that I saw on TV, and I want to go more into that when I talk about Santana and Brittany. But there were never gay couples that I saw on TV, which is just absolutely great. I think that they worked really well together despite having some certain communication problems in season 5, where I think everything's a little bit over the top and certain people are overreacting a little bit. Like we take a step back, figure out if we can be good communicators, and if we can't be good communicators, we may have to leave a good thing in the past. But there is that scene that is very much reminiscent of someone who I think is canonically gay, Anna from the OC, and Seth, because there's the whole confidence Cohen thing, and then there's the text that Blaine sends Kirk, and it says Kurt. And I think that might have been taken from the OC, because I feel like Ryan Murphy is someone that would watch a Joshua Schwartz show and enjoy it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
They kind of give off the same vibes. And what I really loved about Kurt, I keep calling him Kirk, like Kirk from Gilmore Girls. What I really loved about Kurt and Blaine is just like the softness and how they were both each other's first. Well, he's Kurt. Hold on. As a Glee connoisseur, I'm mad at myself because he was not. Blaine had other men before, basically. I just really like that after Kurt meets Blaine, Kurt is able to come out of his shell more, not just with like being gay, but with his singing, with his performance, and like with himself, with his soul. I feel like Blaine is Kurt's soul. It just enhanced his character when he met him. And there's so many cute moments, like the proposal. Oh my god, all you need is love I think it was in the Dalton Academy. on the stairs where they first. Oh. Oh.
I was gonna say, I don't remember Glee well enough to comment a lot, so I'm just letting you have your fangirl moment, and I'm agreeing with you.
Just having my moment. They were so
You
cute.
have that moment. I mean, I do respect that, and I think that I remember liking them as well, but I'm not nearly as attached to Glee as you are, so I thought it's not really fair for me to like add stuff that I don't have very strong feelings about, but I can tell that they mean a lot to you, and I think that that's great that you have a couple that you're that invested in. And I mean, I do love myself some Darren Criss, so
Oh my god, he's nice.
I love him. You know what though? The Apart from Glee, the only thing I've seen him in is a Harry Potter musical. I love that though. I mean, dare I say, he is as good of a Harry Potter as Daniel Radcliffe, and he can sing. Obviously, he wouldn't be in Glee otherwise.
He's a very good actor.
I love, yeah.
There's definitely a reason how he took over as like basically the replacement Finn in season 4. I'm not talking about like when he died. I'm talking about before he died, when Finn was in the Glee Club. I feel like easily one of the best singers on the show, and not to like tarnish the memory of Corey, but he was a better singer than Corey in my opinion.
I mean, we're allowed to say that. Obviously, rest in peace, tragic, gone too young. But obviously, vocally, we're allowed to, have our opinions as to who's the best singer in the show. So,
and
I mean, yeah.
His performance of Don't Stop Me Now is on par with the original, and I will not take any no, it's not, because
I'm not gonna argue with you on that.
It is on par with I mean, there's so many Glee covers in my opinion where I'm like, actually, I'd rather listen to that than the original.
I mean, I loved the that rumor has it and somebody like you mix.
Oh god, it's amazing.
It's beautiful. I have it on my Spotify playlist. I mean, I love Naya's voice. It's so beautiful. But yeah,
that's
definitely. I was gonna say, since we already talked about my number 3 and 2 is just to you for another 2 goes.
Okay, number 3 is Santana and Brittany.
Let's just go through Glee. Blow through Glee.
We have not jumped off the Glee train yet, and do you know what? It's been such a long time since I was like 11 years old. Actually, I think I was 9 or 10 when it first premiered, and I watched the first season, so it's been a really long time. We're not going to jump off that train anytime soon. Santana and Brittany mean a lot to me, way more than Kurt and Blaine, because obviously, like, I'm a woman, I was a girl, I'm a woman, I'm a girl. So I'm going to relate to them a lot more. And at the time that I watched this, I didn't because I was a kid, I didn't really recognize why I loved Santana's story so much, why it felt kind of relatable. And then obviously I didn't come out until I was 21. I had
pretty late, but I guess makes sense with the times.
Yeah, I had twins, and I was always scared of it, but I didn't obviously voice it until I was 21, and I was like, oh, I'm bisexual. And anyone that knows me knows I go through a crisis at least once a year where I think I'm a lesbian.
I think considering some people, they don't realize who they like and what they are till they're 50. I think you're allowed to have those moments. I mean, we as humans always try to figure out who we are and our identities and who we love and all that. So you're allowed. So you crack on, you question yourself. But let me just say, Jensen Ackles, come on, lesbian or not, you would climb that like you're a bear and it's a tree.
I have confirmation from an actual lesbian that Jensen Ackles is the one that would just do it.
I mean, Jensen, if you ever see this, we're so sorry. We don't mean to objectify you, but you're a fine man, and you should know that. So
Absolutely handsome man, one of the most handsomest men on this planet. You know,
I mean, congrats on the jeans. And I'm sure that the jeans you're wearing are also very good quality as well. I tried to make a pun there.
Okay, Sydney Sweeney.
But anyway, back to Britannia. Yeah, I think that's their name.
Yeah, Britannia. Okay, so obviously I have a lot of emotional ties with this couple, especially when they sing Landslide together and Santana starts crying. And then Rachel makes that really offhand comment about, oh wow, the sapphic charm. And it's like,
Shut up, Rachel.
It's like, shut up, just because you're not the center of attention for like 1 second.
She needs applause to live. Hello?
She needs applause to live, and she needs the attention constantly on her, and she really just doesn't understand gay people at all, because when she's like hanging out with Kurt and he's her best gay and my 2 gay dads, and
Well, you know that I've said that Rachel's one of my least favorite characters, and it's really hard when the show is literally her diva moment.
I mostly like her. Like, I enjoy a Rachel Berry moment, but there's certain things where she's just really irritating and downright wrong.
Oh yeah. And it's to the point where it's that glaringly obvious that I have to think that it's written like that on purpose. Like it's her character flaw that she is that way, because I just think you can't not think how that sounds. So it's definitely purposeful, including those comments about gay bestie, whatever. So yeah, but I do remember a Britannia moment, though. I can chime in here, where it's one of the few moments, if not the only moment, where they used the Taylor Swift song when she was not leaving, but breaking up with her, actually, wasn't it? When Santana went to uni and she realized that this is not working long distance, and she sang Mine to Britney.
Oh, it's one of the...
Yeah, I remember that moment pretty well. And they're definitely like that sunshine and grump, because Santana is such a bitch. Her words, not mine. And Brittany's just like unicorns. Na, 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 na,
But she's
na.
genius, and she's really smart, and she gives off like Bevan from One Tree Hill, because she turns around that episode to Rachel and goes, I just pretend to be this way so that you guys can shine, but I'm not the one that's going to be stuck in this like fucking classroom for the rest of my life. So
no, I do love that moment. But yeah, no, I definitely understand the dynamic, because they are like, they balance each other out, and Santana's very protective of Brittany as well because of how sweet and naive she can be. Meanwhile, Santana's like, well, she's a lot of things.
I could see her working in the morgue and like dismantling body parts, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, if anyone had the stomach for that in the show, it would be her.
It would definitely be her. And you know what? I mean, like, so this is one of the first gay couples that we get in, you know, that era.
Yeah.
And it obviously, they're like really important to a lot of us that are bisexual and or lesbian.
Yeah, it's important to have representation, and especially important to have representation where they end up happily together.
They do, and the wedding's so cute, and it's a double gay wedding, and I
mean, the world needed that. I think that it was very necessary. And even though, I mean, I wasn't invested in the show by that point, but I could appreciate that it was an important moment for people.
Yeah, so at the time, it was when gay marriage was like legal in all of the states, so it was so important for them to show this gay wedding to celebrate and be like, yeah, we're gonna give you double it, because now everyone can get married to the person that they love. And like, I mean, it should never have been that way. Why would it ever have been illegal anyway? It pisses me off. I was running on Tumblr about that as a child.
was gonna say that is not just a whole other conversation. That is a whole other thesis that we need to write. Is
It is.
just let people love who they want to love. Who gives a fuck? Go get yourself a hobby. Stop screen keyboard worrying. Whatever you're doing, just chill the fuck out. Touch grass. Whatever. I don't know. Go knit a blanket. It'll be a more effective use of your time.
Exactly, and especially if I look at a couple as sweet as these two, where one of them's just like really spicy and the other one's really sweet, and they bring out the best in each other, or rather, like Brittany brings out the best in Santana because she brings out her soft side and she's vulnerable with her, and it's like the first time we get to see like a little crack in the ice that is Santana. Like she's like, whack that ice.
Yeah,
It melts.
I agree.
And I love it. I just one of my favorite performances is Songbird, famously a Fleetwood Mac song from the Fleetwood Mac episode, which is one of my favorite episodes of all time. And it's when, like, essentially, like, she's professing her love for Britney. Landslide already happened a few episodes before. I don't know why that happened, and then we did a whole Fleetwood Mac episode, but that's how it happened. We got extra Fleetwood Mac. I'm fine with it.
I was gonna say you're not gonna complain about that.
Same, because they're two of my favorite songs of all time, Landslide and Songbird. And when Naya sings Songbird, you fucking feel it, especially when she hits the part where it goes, I wish you all the love in the world, but most of all, I wish it from myself, the bridge. It's like, and the way they look at each other, and they have so much chemistry, and they were best friends in real life, but you were kind of like, will they, won't they in real life? Because it was so convincing on screen. You could feel the love that they had for each other, even if on the actor's side it was platonic. And even if it's platonic, I don't care. I'm not invested in actors in the way a lot of people are, where they try and force them out of the closet just for playing a gay character, because that must mean that they're gay in real life. No.
God forbid, people are just good actors.
God forbid that you do your acting degree and get what you paid for, aka talent.
I know. But yeah, no, it's nice to have these couples that have big meaning to you, and if they're tied to your favorite songs of all time, that's a big plus as well.
Absolutely. I love them so much. They mean so much to me.
I mean, you go again.
Me again. Right, my number 2 spot is going to be a little bit surprising because you'd think it'd be number 1. But it is Nayli from One Tree Hill.
Yep, I can respect that.
I have famously loved them since my first watch, and honestly, fuck them, fuck the writers, because Nayli give me such an unrealistic view of love that when I first started dating, I thought I was gonna find a Nathan Scott, and it didn't have to be like the guy on the basketball team, whatever. It was more like that's the kind of love I wanted, that unconditional love where they just try and whatever. And even Bethany Joy Lenz herself said that love doesn't exist. And I was like,
thanks, Beth.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe not completely. I'm sure there's obviously there's unconditional love that exists in the world, and people are in love and whatnot. But I never found a relationship that was exactly like Nayli, and it really disappointed me. It made me angry for a while, because I really put this love on a pedestal just because of them. And I'm even saying that with the whole going on tour, the cheating, the season 5 bullshit with Renee, season 6 bullshit with Renee.
No, season 5 was Nanny Carey, and then season 7 was Renee.
Yeah, even though that one was more of a fluke, it wasn't true. So you can kind of off. But I think with Nayli, the thing is that obviously the wow chemistry, but also they always find a way to get through their problems and love each other, and they don't just give up on each other at the first argument or the first.
That's true. They had plenty of chances to walk away forever. And I mean, arguably, you could say that if Haley didn't push so hard in season 3 in the beginning when she came back, then maybe they would not have got back together. But she was like, yeah, I love this man and I'm going to fight for him. And eventually Nathan, forgave her. I'm glad that he made her grovel, though. It was definitely deserved. Um, but also in season 5, they worked through, Nathan being in the wheelchair and then the whole nanny Carrie bullshit. Like they worked through that. Haley's depression, a lot of divorces happen in real life when, grief happens, these sort of life events, when things aren't no longer honeymoon phase, roses and unicorns, when real life shit happens. A lot of people don't want to deal with that. And that's when, cheating happens and divorces happen. That's just how humans are. But they weren't perfect, but they still worked through it together, like you said, every time, and they came out stronger.
Exactly, they were perfect. I mean, like, as perfect as you can be as a human, because you're never just gonna fully get it right or be like the perfect couple. They obviously had flaws and drawbacks, like we've discussed already, and just them choosing each other. There's something about I choose you that really just gets me. Someone that chooses you over and over again and like sees
because it's it's a how do I phrase it? It's because it's again, well, it's socially a choice, but it's behavior that it's purposeful, it's intentional, it's not that whole leaving it to fate or just seeing what happens or whatever. It's an active decision. You're important to me, you're my priority, I will do whatever needs doing to make sure that you stay with me, that you stay in my life, you're my number one, sort of thing. And that never wavers ever. And I mean, the fact that anyone else thought they had a chance with them, it's not happening at all.
Wasn't gonna happen. They were the best fit for each other. Even like when we're seeing Peyton and Nathan together in the first season, and we're like, that's really laughable because obviously they have no chemistry. And what is like 20-year-old HEREEEE gonna have with 17-year-old James? Laugh at you anyway. Oh wait, 16.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If you're gonna have chemistry, I mean, like Bethany Joy Lenz as well, but I'm just gonna say, if you're gonna have chemistry with a 16-year-old, there's a problem.
That is very true. But no, I agree with that. I mean, they weren't far off making my top 20. I think they are definitely in 20-something spot. Maybe even like 22, 23 even. They were very close. So yeah, they also meant a lot to me as well. And I think that considering the tumultuousness of the whole triangle and all these other relationships, the show really needed a staple couple to root for. And I mean, as much as I wish that, they waited till at least the time jump to get Haley pregnant, also, I'm grateful for Jamie because he's the cutest thing. So
the fans hate him.
Because they hate anything cute and they should just shut the fuck up.
Jamie, honestly, like, even as a child-free person, I always said this. I was like, listen, if I could be guaranteed a Jamie Scott, I would have a baby. But I cannot be guaranteed that little boy. Not possible. My womb stays free.
Respect. So yeah, we're at our number 1 now.
Woo!
Woo!
You did the alto part. I did the soprano part.
I mean, harmonizing, eh? So, to wrap this up then, Dante, stop kicking me.
And then I'm gonna go have food, because I'm starving today.
I'm gonna I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something, obviously. But before we do that, so my number one is Jake and Amy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a show about detectives who solve cases together. And it's a sitcom. And it starts when a new captain shows up to the precinct and he kind of mentors all of them. It's very much found family vibe. They love their job and they love being around each other, but it also talks about like some interesting things about the justice system and being a cop and all that. And Dante just went upstairs for some reason. Weirdo. And now he's doing nails on the carpet. You know what? Whatever. He wants to be the star, clearly.
I do.
Dante, stop it. Come here. Come down. Dante, come here. No? Okay. How dare he? Anyway, so Jake and Amy, they are fellow detectives. Jake is very like goofball, sort of, you know, super like very relaxed personality, but like when the show starts, he's very mature, but like not in a menacing way. He's just a bit clueless, you know, but he's an amazing detective. And Amy is very type A, very controlling, organized, super, like she feels like she has to prove herself because, you know, she's a woman in a very male dominated profession. You know, she is looking for mentorship.
Do you relate?
Oh yeah, I'm 70% Amy Santiago. That's just, I mean, I quote her daily. But and sometimes I like send you gifts. That's her saying words, and that's just me. But yeah, it's very like she's very just, yeah, she's me in a lot of ways. And like I say that me and my fiance were like Jake and Amy, but we're not detectives because I wouldn't let him work a job like that because it's way too dangerous. Yeah, so they start the show as colleagues, and it's obvious that there's some like attraction there because there's banter, like they bounce off each other really well. And we do get like a little will they, won't they for a little bit, just teensy bit, just like half a season, I think. Thankfully, because fuck 10 seasons of are they boning or not? So they get together at the end of season 2, and then they stay together for the rest of the show. And the beautiful thing is that there is no drama that stems from their relationship. There's no miscommunication, no putting each other down, you know, sacrificing each other's careers for the other's happiness. If anything, they always support each other. They love each other. Jake is always, because Amy wants to become the captain. She wants to climb through the career ranks, and Jake just wants to be a detective. He just wants to solve crimes because it's fun. He has no interest in moving up. So he's like, I always knew you were going to be my boss, and that's the hottest thing ever. So you just go and become a lieutenant, sergeant, whatever. You do your thing. And he's always so supportive of her, and he encourages all her nerdiness and all the tendencies. And she in turn helps him to just become a bit more mature, but it's not the case of she forces him. He wants to better himself because she inspires him. Like it's just very healthy. And the show just naturally progresses to anything that hinders them is external factors due to their job, considering he goes to prison because he gets wrongly accused of a crime for a little bit, which was a bit heavy for a sitcom, but I mean, if you ever watch it, you'll know what I mean. But it's just like lots of stuff like that. But then they get together, they get married, they have a kid, and then she becomes like this super successful career woman, and he learns to overcome his daddy issues and be a good father and all that to their son, because his father abandoned him when he was little. So he has like a lot of stuff when it comes to that. And in the whole show, there was just one episode where they were written out of character, and I'm pretty sure that it had different writers for some reason that were just brought in for an episode, so I'm just ignoring that. It's not worth tarnishing it. But they're definitely like the one couple out of all of the couples that I ever talked about that I could say they are genuine real life goals, because it's just nice to watch a couple that there's no drama, but they're still entertaining to watch because they're so sweet with each other and there's just so much love, and there's that sort of chemistry, but not in like an explosive Chuck and Blair like way, but just in real life way where you can just see there's appreciation and love there, and humor and all of that. So yeah, and I think that's it for me for that. So I'm finito.
I am not finito. I have one more to go.
I mean, I'm waiting for you to.
My number one spot is actually Brooke and Julian from One Tree Hill.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw your list and I was like, oh, I did not see that coming, and then I forgot. So double twist.
Double twist. Brooke and Julian, like on my last two rewatches, I always loved them, but you know, I was always a big Nathan and Haley fan, and I think I talked quite passionately about them when we did number two. But these two really took the cake for me recently.
I mean, they're probably the best example of a second chance romance that I've seen on TV.
They feel
Especially for a character that was introduced in the show this late, because Julian wasn't until season 6. It's hard to make audiences care for a character that late in the game, but they managed to do it.
and they're comparison to some of the other couples on the show and some of the other things that happen on the show. I just feel like, you know I talked about unconditional love, and unconditional love can exist, but the whole Nathan and Haley thing, I don't even think for me that exists. But with Brooke and Julian, it feels softer and more real to life. Like that could actually maybe happen for me at some point.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. They feel a bit more grounded.
You feel
Yeah.
more grounded in reality and like just in general to the earth.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't really have anything booky happening. I mean, like with Nathan and Haley, it was very much like, well, with let's just say Peyton, psycho killer, psycho stalker, pregnancy storyline that wouldn't actually happen in real life because it just wasn't medically correct. You know, a lot of this like unrealistic shit happens to these couples and these characters. And, you know, with Brooke and Julian, it's like, do you know what? You can leave your baby in a car and it overheats. Like, that can happen in real life. And do you know what? It's not even like one of those situations where we can always be mad at that parent, because there's sometimes like circumstances happening that are out of their control. Like, it just happens. Sometimes you leave your baby in the supermarket.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I definitely think that after the whole Lucas thing, and I say that as someone who has them as my number 6, that Brooke needed someone who put her first and who worshipped her and who showed her what real commitment is. Because while I still really enjoyed Brooke and Lucas, especially while watching the high school seasons and all that, and some of their moments in season 5, I think they barely interact in season 6, which is interesting. But anyway, I can acknowledge that ultimately the way they were written in the show, because who knows how it would have been written had a lot of things not happened. We talked about this already. I mean, Lucas didn't deserve to end up with Brooke the way it was written. Like, she deserved so much better, and she found someone better, Julian. Like I said, the only thing I wish that was different about them is that he wasn't Peyton's ex, because Brooke deserved someone who wasn't tied to Peyton in any way. And I really wish they could have just, I mean, he still could have known Peyton, like they could have worked together or something, but they didn't need to make them be together. That was a bit rude. But once you look past that, I think that they are perfect, and ultimately he is what she deserved and needed.
That, you know, I've been in Brooke's corner from the like mid season 1 onwards. I didn't really like early Brooke, but I've basically virtually always been in her corner since my first rewatch, and I've had Lucas's myself, which then makes me like double angry with the whole like cheating scenario, and she just deserves so much better. I hate Lucas Scott. I hate him with my whole soul. Can't wait to do an episode about Lucas Scott because I'm gonna go in and rip him a new fucking asshole. He's gonna have double an asshole.
I mean, we should probably just do a series of maybe like kind of mix that whole series that we thought of, you know, realistic men and then rage scale. We should do men rage scale and talk about realistic men and rate their actions based on Nando's scale.
Oh my god,
Because we already have, we're doing an episode on Tom Scavo from Desperate Housewives. We can do one on Lucas Scott. Like, we can make a list of realistic men, so we're not talking about like Chuck Bass and all that, because like those are obvious, but we're talking about like less obvious men in realistic settings. So we're not talking about like vampires either or whatever, but just, you know, even like men that are loved by the fandom and all that. But that is for another time.
Ooh,
so yeah. So
absolutely.
prepare for that, people. We'll roast some bitches and rip asshole.
Rip assholes open, but for now I am not done. I am not done talking about these two. I just, a vivid scene for me is the one where they're jumping on the bed and Brooke's like, "We're getting a baby," and then she jumps into his arms.
Oh, it's really sweet that because she wanted a family so badly, and she got that with him.
I
And
do
think
feel
that
like
was
that came
beautiful.
out of left field when it first starts, because it first starts in season 5 and she's only like 21, 22, and we're like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
never mentioned wanting a big family or wanting children, and now at suddenly when everyone's in like the peak of their careers and she's in the peak of her career, she wants to go have a baby. We've not like heard her ever speak about it or like show any kind of motherly instinct. So it's, well, we do get like motherly instincts in season 5, but like before that, no. So,
No, I feel the same way. I'm not sure where that came from, but I mean, all the women kind of became mothers really early, so
they did. They became. I mean,
I mean, Haley as a teenager, then Peyton was barely 20 or whatever when they had their kid. And then Brooke, obviously, she tried, but even so, even with all the time jumps and stuff, she was still under 25 when they had their twins. So,
oh, and it is a beautiful like storyline to see her finally happy getting this life that she wanted. Maybe figuring that, you know, it wasn't like the fantasy, but it still fits her.
yeah, I think that, like, that speech that she has, I don't remember the whole speech, but she says, like, sometimes my heart aches at how my life turned out in a good way. So, you know, if you asked her 10 years ago, she probably would have told you a completely different thing. But, you know, she's there, and maybe it's not what she imagined, but it doesn't mean that it's not better.
Is that when she's in the food and driving around?
I don't remember, but I think she had a, like, it was a voiceover, and she was resting on Julian's shoulder with the twins. Like, they each had a twin, and she was like talking about how good everything is or something. I don't know.
That was the same episode I'm thinking of where the twins can't sleep at night, so she's like driving around and she stops for fast food and then she gives the babies to Julian and she gets to go to bed and then he wakes up and he's with the babies. And they have this whole like routine going on, and then that all leads into the whole leaving the baby in the hot car like thing where I do forgive him for that. because it was a one-time thing.
I mean, Brooke was allowed to be upset about it, but he was also repenting for that. He was devastated and he hated himself for doing that.
And it was a one-time thing. There is no other scene where he is neglectful or a horrible person.
They were sleep deprived. I mean, I love to put on my big hat of, oh my God, I would never do something like that. But that's the thing. If I have had a kid and I was sleep deprived for like 2 weeks, realistically, I don't know what I would do. So
I think I'd do it on purpose.
because I am nasty when I'm sleep deprived. Like if we have to travel at night or something, which we often do because flight times are annoying and all that, I can get crabby. So I have no idea how I would be if I had to take care of a screaming thing. So it's making me reconsider a lot of my choices. But that's another conversation for another time. But yeah, no, I forgive him. And Brooke does too, obviously. So, I just imagine. Yeah.
And he makes up for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It might just be that thing, 10 years down, she's like, well, remember that time? And he's like, Brooke, you already forgave me for that. And she's like, yeah, but I'm bringing it up just because.
Oh, we all do that. I forgive you.
Oh, yeah, it's very human behavior.
Yeah, I mean, when someone pisses you off, it's like, remember that time?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that it's very unhealthy to do that, but no one's perfect. But yeah, I mean, they're as close as it gets. And honestly, even though they're not in my top 20 or whatever, they are definitely like somewhere in my shipped couples list. Like I said, it's a long list, but I can definitely appreciate the fact that they're endgame. And I love that they are endgame because they deserve to be one. And I really think that they're very well suited for each other. And
my so happy for her wedding day because I'm like, this is what I've waited for since the whole show. I've been waiting for you to get married. I've been waiting for you to find your person. And you know what? It is unfortunate that this person's connected to that girl, but
it is what it is,
It is what it is. And he just ends up being her person, and it's kind of like, fuck you, Peyton, I took yours.
Yeah, it's like, it definitely took the show a while to get to Brooke's happy ending, like the whole show, basically, which is why it baffles me that some people say just leave after season 6, but, like, they don't watch it further, but it's like, if you care about Brooke's character, you have to watch the whole show.
If you care about any of those characters, you need to watch the whole show. And especially like Dan Scott, you really want to go miss his growth arc. You really want to miss season 9.
Yeah, honestly, bad choices all around. But yeah, very solid first place choice. I can respect that.
I can respect myself too. Before we go, should we announce our podcast?
I'll leave you to do the honors because you are the host of this channel that we're uploading this on.
So Eve and I are starting a podcast. It is called The TV Socialites. I will have the Spotify and all that up and running, and I'm gonna post next week the episode. I'm doing that so that we are always 1 week ahead. So
yeah,
film today. Well, tomorrow. We'll film it tomorrow and then record it rather, and then I will put it on Spotify to be scheduled to go up on whatever day next week, and then we go from there. And we are going to be more of like a general TV show podcast where we're going to talk about just absolutely everything. Buffy, Desperate Housewives, One Tree Hill.
We have a big list, and it's all gonna come, but for now we are gonna focus on Gossip Girl for a bit because it feels right. We're both rewatching it right now. You for the second time, I might add. You just merry-go-round.
I'm just merry-go-rounding, and we're not going to be doing like a classic rewatch podcast where we give you a play-by-play, scene-by-scene.
No, we're not gonna do that. We have segments, and we're just gonna give you like a quick summary of what happens in that episode. But it's like, so she's just going to be like a few sentences and we're just going to talk about what we think about that episode instead, our opinions and like little segments of characters, as opposed to, oh, this scene happens and this person walks in, because no one has time for that. Go to Wikipedia to have that. Or, you know, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, we're just doing things our own way and discussing stuff our own way.
It is much better. We're doing 5 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
And obviously that means we're going to have a lot of material to work with. So we'll be able to have, you know, deep discussions about certain character arcs. It is going to be a spoiler-filled podcast. So if anyone has not watched Gossip Girl in its entirety,
now it's your time to walk away.
Yeah, now's your time to walk away, go watch it and come back, because
yes.
because we are very much people that will go on tangents, and we end up linking things like in the current episodes to the seasons later. We do that all the time when we talk about TV, so stay tuned for that and don't get spoiled by us.
Yep. Although you could assume that if you're watching this, we did say there would be Gossip Girl spoilers because we talked about Chuck and Blair, and Blair and Dan as well in these parts. So really, if you haven't watched and you're here, then you just want to torture yourself, I guess. But it was lovely having this discussion and gushing about our favorites. And I'm going to let you go and have food now.
I'm going to eat.
You do that, girlie. You deserve it.
Thank you. And you go enjoy your Sasha.
Yeah, I'm going to try to finish it.
Go you, slashy slash slash. All right.
Cool. Then I will speak to you soon. And by that, I mean in 2 minutes on Instagram.
Of course. You're obsessed with me.
Obviously. Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
And